How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast, and I'm here with my boy Jeremy, aka DFS Dudes, and we're here to present you our NBA Live segment for Wednesday, January 2nd. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups, and we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So hey, how you doing out there, Jeremy?
Yo, what up, dude? Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, happy New Year's to you guys. Fresh year. We're gonna, let's start the season. Let's start the year off right. Yesterday, first day of the new year, and we cashed on both FanDuel and DraftKings. So hey, I gotta say it's a positive start to the new year. Let's make it back-to-back nights, and get it going. So yeah, man. I mean, there's so much injury news and stuff going on right now. I don't know if you've really looked around yet or whatnot, but it's like what's really going on right now is usually what we've been used to. At the end of the season, the past couple of years, that's when the injuries really pile up. And right now, we're getting them so early in the year, it's crazy. But what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on today?
So I just opened up FanDuel so I could do something real quick and kind of show everybody. These are the guys. These are some of the guys. Without Jason Tatum, obviously, we'll take him out. But you start looking around the league, and you look at who's starting today and who's projected to start in starting lineups, and you look Terry Rozier starting for injured Kyrie Irving, 4,300. Devontae Graham starting for injured Jeremy Lamb, 3,900. Rodney McGruder's been solid all season long. He's starting back in the starting lineup, 4,100. Daniel Hamilton, he's being put into the starting lineup for injured Kim Basemore. He's 3,600. Rodney Hood played very solid. He's 3,900. So there is a ton of value on the board. This is one of those slates where if value goes off, scores are going to be extremely high. You could definitely look at a stars and scrubs type deal. And then with the drop spot play as well, there's a lot of guys you could plug in as a drop spot play with a ton of upside tonight who are going to see extended minutes.
Yeah, definitely. And then just one thing I really quickly want to just quickly touch. Todd mentioned this on my core video as well. He was asking me what I think about Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. I definitely think that he's a solid play. I mean, I think he's going to be the lower owned guy of the Roziers, the Smarts, etc. Just because he comes off the bench. But I definitely think he's a good play, and he is a guard at the end of the day, so I think he could possibly even pick up a couple extra minutes at the guard spot with Kyrie out. He's just too cheap. 4,500 for Jaylen Brown. He just scored 30 points the other night. Coming off the best game of the season. 42 fantasy points. I'm not saying he's going to do this again, but I could definitely see him getting you, 30 fantasy points at a 4.5 price tag. That's 6, almost 7x. So I definitely think that Jaylen Brown is a really, really good play tonight. I have a question for you, bro. Who would you rather go with, Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart? $200 difference.
I got to be honest with you because of the fact that I'm a tournament player, and that's a really chalky situation. I'm not really looking at any of it. And one thing I want to also point out as part of the question you're asking me is there's still guys who are in extremely good spots whose price has caught up to them, and I'll name two of them. Tyus Jones, his price has just caught up to him being a starter, and Josh Hart, his price has caught up to him being a starter. And they're still in extremely good spots, but now they're mid-tier plays. The other thing I'll follow up with that on is you've also got Jimmy Butler, who's not playing today, and you've got this guy Korkmaz, who we've seen start before and go off. He's got 8, 9, 10x.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of places to play tonight, and you don't have to just say the number one domino is Kyrie Irving is out. Let's play down the role of let's think deep and go Jaylen Brown over. It's not that type. To me, I'm not saying Jaylen Brown's not a good play. I'm just saying it's not that type of night where you have to be that cute because there's so many other guys like, Daniel Hamilton, Korkmaz, all these other guys who are in the same spot that are cheap and they're going to get the same run tonight. So, it's not like a domino effect, where it's just Kyrie Irving's out. Let's go plug in Jaylen Brown to pivot off Marcus Smart.
Right. Yeah. No, but I mean, just really quick for me, I like Smart a lot more. The reason is not only because he already gets starter minutes, but now with Kyrie out and Rozier bumped into the starting point guard spot, Rozier's going to have to get a break at some point. And Marcus Smart is going to be the one that's going to have to go into the point guard spot and get a little bit of extra run as well. So I think that Marcus Smart's usage definitely is going to go up a little bit in this game with no Kyrie Irving. And that's really one of the reasons why I really like Marcus Smart. I just think he's a very fair price tag, and he's a really good defensive player. He gets you those stats. And blocks and steals that with 3 points each, I mean, those can add up quickly. So that's just my thing with Marcus Smart. Going to the real quick, just touching on the Josh Hart and the Tyus Jones. I'm going to be honest. I'm still going to play those guys. Probably a little bit more GPP just because their price tags have risen up. But like you said, they're still in really good spots. The only thing that was really scaring me off those two guys is the price tag jumped almost 2,000 for both of them. And that was the kind of thing. If it was, 500, 600, I understand that. But, the 2,000 is what really kind of pushed me off, at least for cash game consideration.
Absolutely. And like I said, their price is just it's caught up to the opportunity, and that's kind of the thing that you do on a daily basis here is you find injury news, and when there's injury news, then you take a guy who's super low price because of the fact he's going to get an extended run, etc. Well, these guys are just in starters roles now, and the price is caught up. From a tournament perspective, you can expect their ownership to be reduced tonight because of the fact that you got other guys who, look, compared to like a Daniel Hamilton or Rodney Magruder or a Graham in Charlotte who's going to start for Lamb. Compared to those situations, which guy do you actually know is going to get the run tonight? You know for a fact Josh Hart's going to get run in the shooting guard spot, right? You don't really know what to expect from a Graham or from a Daniel Hamilton, but they're cheap.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing is you're messing with the unknown for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So let me see. So one thing I do want to mention, I mean, I have 2 games I'm really liking to target. I think there will be some solid plays in those games. I like the Laker game a lot against OKC, the night game. The other game that I like 3 games. So I like OKC in LA. I'm really liking the New Orleans and the Brooklyn game. And then I'm really liking the Atlanta and Washington. I think that's going to be a really, really high scoring game, and nobody's really going to go, especially with the Atlanta side of things. I don't think that nobody's really going to go with them. And then on the Washington side of things, if there wasn't all this other value like we talked about, like in Boston, in LA, then these guys on the Washington side of things, they would be chalk. They've been chalk pretty much the past 2 weeks. I think tonight's the night that the Washington guys are going to be a little bit lower owned than they have been, and I think that they are, in a solid spot as well.
Anthony Davis is murdered.
Yeah,
murdered Brooklyn. He's murdered Brooklyn.
Just overall, Anthony Davis is the best player on the slate, just from a matchup standpoint. If he's going to reach 80 points again this season, I think it could be this game, bro.
He's murdered Brooklyn in the past. Another guy that I really like a lot tonight, I think is off the radar, is Devin Booker. I love Booker against Philadelphia. No Jimmy Butler. I think that this is a really good spot for Booker. They just played. Him and TJ Warren had very solid games when they were in Philadelphia. It's a guy I like a ton. I think he's a bit under the radar. Go back and look at what he did against Philadelphia. He had 50.6 fantasy points back on November the 19th. TJ Warren was another guy. And TJ Warren's a good pivot play if you want to plug TJ Warren in. You look what he did against Philadelphia. He had 31.8. This was a solid game when Warren was starting to get back rotational minutes from the little injury he had. He played 39 minutes against them. So I love Devin Booker tonight. It's a guy that I absolutely think you can fit in any lineup in any format. Again, there's no Jimmy Butler in this one. I believe this is a back-to-back, right, for Philadelphia. They beat the crap out of the Clippers last night. So I love Devin Booker tonight. I think he goes under the radar because I think people look to get exposure to OKC and Laker game, and you got Westbrook and Paul George to pay it for there. But there's plenty of value on the board to get a guy like Devin Booker in your lineup tonight. Yeah, no, definitely. He's been playing very well as well, for sure. So let me check. Let me see if we got any questions, anything like that. Who do y'all like at center? I have Hernan Gomez and Bryant as sleepers. I agree. I actually really like Hernan Gomez as well. For Charlotte, I think he's gonna get some run. My only thing with Hernan Gomez is last time that Zeller was out and he started, he still only played like 12 or 14 minutes or something. I looked it up earlier. Like if you're gonna tell me Hernan Gomez was gonna get at least
25 minutes in this game. I think that he would be a really good play. I just don't know how the minutes are going to go, and that's the only thing scare me on Hernan Gomez. But I do like him. I think he's a really good play tonight. The same thing with Bryant. Bryant has been playing very, very well. He's getting a ton of minutes. The thing, but Bryant is the same thing as Tyus Jones and the same thing as Josh Hart. We just played Bryant Sunday, I think, and he was like 4,500. Now he's 6,600, 2,000 plus jump. And definitely he's playing well. He deserves the jump. But do I really want to play? My thing is I don't like paying 2,000 for a guy on the next slate that I just paid 2,000 less for him. That just kind of bothers me, and I kind of get away from those type of situations.
The thing for me, right? There's two guys on Charlotte's bench that are minimum value who've been extremely inactive, and that's Bismack Biyombo and Frank Kaminsky. Do those guys see run? Do they warrant a few entries tonight? Do you expect really Hernan Gomez to run out there? You start looking at their roster from a big guy standpoint, and really it's Marvin Williams is what they're Marvin Williams and Willie Hernan Gomez is what they're left with. Do we see Bismack Biyombo tonight? If Willie Hernan Gomez gets in foul trouble, which we've seen him do that in the past, especially when he was back in New York, does Bismack Biyombo come have a monster night out of nowhere, like a little double action that nobody saw coming? So, I'm curious to see what happens. I don't trust Willie Hernan Gomez. The guy has a great skill set. I just don't trust him. And at 5,400, I think there's better spots, and I think there's better value to go after tonight than Willie Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the price tag is not a give me price at 5,400. Just for value, we still need about 27 fantasy points. Like you said, that's a really. I actually wasn't really looking at Biyombo, but that's a really good point. Biyombo, we seen him. He was with Orlando last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, when he got Minnesota, that dude would kill it. So just hypothetically, say they were gonna run, Gomez for 25 minutes, and they're gonna give Biyombo 20 minutes. $1,900 less bare minimum price tag. And if it doesn't work out, you could use them as your drop spot. I think that's actually a really, really good call with Biyombo. But personally,
I want to just make it clear too. I don't have any news at all that I've seen that Bismack Biyombo is going to play at all tonight. He has not played at all season long. On New Year's Eve, he got 6 minutes out of nowhere. So I'm just kind of adding two and two together here.
Right.
And the guy who's been inactive almost the entire season.
Right.
And New Year's Eve game, he gets 6 minutes with the Zeller deal, right? So you got Willie Hernan Gomez at 5,400. The only other big they've really got is Marvin Williams. Kaminsky's been extremely inactive as well. So what do they do? Let's just say Hernan Gomez gets 2 quick fouls. Do they go small? Do they run Dwayne Bacon out there? They run Tony Park? Who do they run out there? I mean, you start taking a look.
How are they going to do that against DeAndre Jordan? You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to build 10 lineups tonight, I think playing Biyombo in 1 or 2 of those as a drop spot play is a very smart decision. But don't come back and be like, tonight we do a video, be like, oh, you guys told me to play Biyombo. He didn't even get off the bench. Understand the play and why we're saying to do it.
Yeah, you're just saying, yeah, exactly. Minimum price, we got to have a drop spot anyways. Just kind of a risk, low on GPP play is what you're saying. For sure.
I'm saying that you could get Bismack Biyombo tonight in a tournament as your drop spot play, and if he gets you a double-double, it will be you and probably nobody else who owns him.
Right. Hey, but that's what you need if you want to take down, bro.
That's what you need.
For sure. So yeah, man, we got a couple more minutes in here, about 5 more minutes. You guys got any questions? Definitely hit us up in the comment section. We'll get to your question as soon as possible. One thing I quickly want to mention is as well is Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They both definitely get a big time bump with no Jimmy Butler. And they are on a second end of a back-to-back. So I don't necessarily see them, they definitely could blow out Phoenix. But Phoenix at home, they've been very competitive lately. So I can see this game being a back-and-forth, up-tempo game. And like I said, we just got the news with Jimmy Butler being out. So I definitely think those guys do get a little bit of a bump. You can also look at, JJ Redick. JJ Redick's price tag 5.2. They're gonna need some scoring. I definitely think JJ Redick is in play with no Jimmy Butler. And then lastly, a guy that you could possibly consider that may get a little bit of extra run, TJ McConnell, 4,300. He's another guard as well. Get a couple extra minutes. With Butler, he's already been getting some consistent run. He usually gets anywhere from 22 to about 26 minutes a game with no Butler. If he's gonna get me, say, only a couple more minutes. Say he gets me 27 minutes. At a 4,300 price tag, I definitely think that you could look at McConnell as a low GPP play as well.
I'm going to tell you as well to look at Mike Muscala tonight with
Right.
Jimmy Butler out. If we have to kind of take a look back and see how rotations have worked in the past in certain situations, right? We wanted to see what guys are impacted when certain guys are off the floor. When we had the trade that sent Covington and Saric to Minnesota and Jimmy Butler was not active with them yet, that's when Muscala really got his run. So Jimmy Butler is out. I know Muscala has been kind of a popular guy that people have tried to plug in as a drop spot play as well. But tonight could be a night where you could see him get 25 or 30 fantasy points. He did get 25 fantasy points back in November when they played the previous time. And then Jimmy Butler out tonight. I think that, they typically like to run Muscala at the power forward spot. He's also been a factor of Wilson Chandler being out when Chandler's been out. So Muscala is another guy you could look to plug in tonight and look for him to have a 6-7 X night as well.
Yeah. D Crane, just quickly, he asked about Kirkus. I like Kirkus. I actually have him up. Kirkus has upside, and when they give him minutes, he usually does pretty well. But his minutes have just been inconsistent. Now they do have Ronnie Hollis Jefferson's out. They're a little bit, a little bit thinner. In the rotation, you could just look at him. I mean, against Chicago, he played 23 minutes, only 17 fantasy points. Then he had 3 straight games of 32-plus minutes, and he got you at least 31 fantasy points. But the past 2 games, he's been back to 20 minutes and 22 minutes. So, I mean, my biggest thing about Kurix, or however you say his name right here for Brooklyn, is Kirkus. Okay, yeah.
Karukas, I'm sorry, it's Karukas.
If he's going to get minutes, if he's going to get 30 minutes this game, and you really feel he's going to get 30 minutes, he's a good play. But if you're worried about his minutes not being there, then he definitely moves into more of a GPP play for me.
Look, for tournaments, I don't mind Karukas for 4,800, but the guy that I think is the biggest beneficiary here is definitely my guy DeMarre Carroll. I mean, 5,100 prices up. He's played 35 minutes in his last 2 games with the Hollis Jefferson injury situation. So I like DeMarre Carroll a lot in this spot. I think he's a mismatch for the Pelicans. I think Karukas is a little harder play with a Julius Randle and Anthony Davis inside there. And DeMarre Carroll is a much more physical perimeter player. And you got guys like Etwan Moore, Drew Holiday, Elfrid Payton out there on the wing and the perimeter. I think that DeMarre Carroll is much more of a mismatch than Karukas is Karukas' matchup against a Davis and a Randle.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me check, see if we got any more questions. If not, I'm ready to pretty much get out of here and get my lineups done for the night. So overall, like I said, we talked about it. We really liked in the OKC Lakers game. Gotta like the Minnesota-Boston game with no Irving. That should be a good game. We just talked about Karukas and Carroll. New Orleans and Brooklyn's a really good game to target. And then we like the Atlanta and Washington games. I think those are probably the top 4 games on the slate.
One thing that we should point out as well, just before we get out of here, a guy that I think is not getting any recognition at all right now is Andre Drummond. I mean, the guy's had 12 straight double-doubles, and he's got 29 double-doubles on the season. I know his salary is $9,500, and that kind of scares people away from ownership, but this guy's playing at an incredibly high level right now. He's had multiple 20-point, 20-rebound games. His last couple of games, he's only had like 14 points, 14 rebounds, so it's only been like 32, 34, 35 fantasy points. But the upside for this guy to go nuts is there, and he's got a super high floor right now with this double-double streak he's on.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's kind of killing it, and Griffin's kind of been playing bad is what really, in my opinion, it comes down to. They're both big guys, so it's tough to play 2 big guys on the same team. So yeah, man. Hey, that's really it for me. About to get out of here, get these lineups done. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for helping me out with this video. Tonight, we're going to try to get back with our NBA morning grind. Our NBA morning shoot around to kind of get you, ready to go for tomorrow. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.